Hello friends, this is Olga, mature medical student from Ukraine, and yeah, it's quite late, and I just wanted to make this video anyway, if it is even late, but I just want to speak out, to talk to you. I know that I think you already know that there was a terrible Russian attack on my city, on Kiev, and it was all dark. The sky was dark of the smoke, and it was numerous drones and missiles attacked my city. And what I want to tell that we are hearing now the last days from American government, from the president and some other representatives, that there will be no weapon for Ukraine, there will be no air defense missiles for the Patriot systems, and it's really sad because I think that Trump wanted to talk with Putin, then he wanted to talk with Zelensky, and after he spoke with Putin, Putin made this attack. And after that we can read that there will be no weapon for Ukraine. Seems like it's like, you know, this case when the victim is always like it's a fault of the victim. And I feel that we are in this situation, that we are it's our fault that we are existing and we are still fighting. And those big countries seem, for them we are not comfortable state, comfortable nation, I would say. What I also had read, that there was some congresswoman, Anna Paulina Luna, if I'm not mistaken. She wrote in Twitter, former Twitter, that in Ukraine, Zelensky, the president, forbidden the Orthodox Church, and there will be no weapon for you. We are not your piggy bank, or something like this, and it's why you're forbidding the Orthodox Church. I just want to explain you what is the problem with the church in Ukraine and why I think it's correct decision. I did some time ago the video about Russian priests, that they blessing Russian soldiers, blessing Russian military equipment, regiments to make war, to go in Ukraine and capture Ukrainian territories. And they are blessing those people, blessing those murders, blessing those occupants. And you know that in Ukraine now existing two Orthodox church. It is Ukrainian Orthodox Church of Ukrainian Patriarchy and Orthodox Church of Moscovian Patriarchy. And during the liturgy, when it is the Moscovian Patriarchy, they are mentioning the Kirill. It's like the main of the main, you know, we are calling it metropolite. I just don't know how to translate it into English correctly, but he is the head of Russian church, and we know about his pro-Putin's view. And actually now church, it's a part of Russian influence, it's a part of Russian propaganda, and often the priests, they are also could be FSB agents, so secret services, secret security services of Russia. And what is the problem? The church, it's like something another, so it's like a state in the state, or state among states, I would say. And there is less rules, less taxes, less limits for people who belongs to church. And so it was often happened that last years, after checks, that priests of Moscovian Patriarchy in Ukraine, because they have a lot of churches belongs to them, and even the biggest church like Lavra in it's a complex of several temples, and so I mean they are really have a lot of property in Ukraine, and they can be the priests in Ukraine. So they are Russian citizens. They are working for Russia, for Russian government secretly, but in the same time they are priests in Ukraine. And the kind of like religious literature they offering in the Church of Moscovian Patriarchy is a pure Russian propaganda. So also I know that the last day there was information that the head of the Ukrainian branch of the Moscovian Patriarchy Church, he came from Western Ukraine, and it seems like I think he is, and it seems like he has to be more patriotic, because Western Ukraine were less influenced by communistic Soviet Union. But anyway, the Ukrainian services, the police, they found that he also have Russian passport, and so the kind of Russian church in Ukraine is very powerful, and it works for Russia. In the times of war, we cannot let ourselves, to keep this church, because it's like fifth column of Russia, of the aggressive state. And a lot of people, they refuse to attend this church, and it's not even the will of the government itself, like Zelensky itself, because it's higher politics, like Trump or other presidents or representatives, they appeal to Zelensky, like it's his doing, it's his orders, but in reality it's a will of the people. They don't want, Ukrainian people, they don't want to have this Russian church on the territory of Ukraine. And of course the security service of Ukraine checks, police of Ukraine checks and sees that there are reasons why people don't want to have them. So there are a lot of meetings where people demand these priests, to leave this church, and they want to change like particular village or small city or town or even big city. They from time to time people have the meeting gathering where they demand Russian church, Moscovian Patriarchy, to leave this church, and to they want to see the Ukrainian Patriarchy, where we have like our branch. So when there is a this message that Zelensky forbids Russian church in Ukraine, the Orthodox church in Ukraine, it's not completely true, because we have Orthodox church, but we in Ukraine, we don't want to see the Orthodox church of Moscovian Patriarchy. We want to have our church, our Orthodox church. As you know, the Kiev is the center of the Christianity, because in times when the Moscow even was not exist, and Kiev was a great city and have its own state, exactly the Christianity from the Byzantia, from the former Greece, was brought to Kiev, and the Kiev became the center of spreading the Christianity on the nowadays Ukrainian lands, also Belarusian lands. And then when the Kiev fell under the how to say, conquering of the Genghis Khan, you know, from these eastern tribes. Then appeared in Moscow, and the metropolis went to Moscow. But primarily, the Kiev is the city, you know, of the Christianity, and we know our traditions, we know our history of our city, of our country, and of course, I think it's fair that Kiev, as a mother, you know, of the Christianity on the Slavic lands, northern Slavic lands, have to return its own church and have finally its own metropolis. So yeah, that is my explanation, and that is what I wanted to tell to you. Yeah, and thank you for watching. See you in the next time. Bye bye.